So here on the US oil, what do we have here? Well, remember what our expectations were yesterday. We were actually on a very strong demand zone. If you look at the structure we have here on the higher time frame, on the daily time frame, we were able to identify this strong demand area at around the $89 area, $88 area, which has held price supported in the past. And this, from this point, we saw a bullish momentum in the past. And what happened during the course of the later part of last week trading session stroke this week, we have price right around that demand zone. And because we have price around that demand zone, we are not going to be we're not going to be in a rush, as we want to see how price is supposed to relate with that level. So that was what our that was our scenario yesterday. And one thing we discovered during the course of yesterday's session, we were around this point here, and we said this bullish trend line will be our guide. And what we were expecting yesterday was a breakout of this neckline, and then we were expecting price to do a retest of structure, after which we want to join the bullish momentum. Now, what happened during the course of yesterday's trading session? We saw the breakout very well, and price came back to do a retest of structure. And one thing that happened here, if we scale down to the 5 minutes time frame, or the we saw multiple rejections of that level, and we took that move, but unfortunately price went the opposite side, hereby taking us out of that position. So on the US oil, we are on a loss at this point in time, and the other scenario we were expecting was that if the bullish momentum fails to hold, then a breakdown of that bullish trend line. Since we had the breakdown of the bullish trend line here, a retest of structure should give us further confirmation that we are going bearish on this one. So how do we intend taking advantage of any bearish momentum here? Mind you, remember we are still in a very strong demand zone, but the reason why we are thinking of a bearish momentum here is simply because of this breakdown of structure. And being a technical student, we want to respect our technical structures, and if we see price breakdown of a structure, what do we expect? We expect price to do a retracement back to test the structure. So we are waiting right now. We can see what happened since yesterday, and we can see how price has continued to find higher highs and higher low. So what I'm suggesting at this point, what I'm thinking at this point, is that this move that we have been experiencing in the last 12 to 15 hours is likely going to be a retracement phase that will lead into a retest of structure. So where is our structure here? Now, if we look at the what happened since the beginning of the week, since I think since on the 5th of August, we can see our price consolidated around this area. This is a structure here before we saw the breakdown of that structure. So I'm expecting price to come back into that structure. And how do we know that price is back into the structure, and how do we know when to enter the trade? Well, what we are going to be looking forward to is a reversal pattern within this area, especially on the lower time frame. It could be a reversal pattern, it could be a sharp rejection of this area. Then we take advantage of that bearish move to the downside with a take profit target, as we have identified yesterday, between the $84 area and the $85 area as a take profit target. So let's see how price is going to play out during the New York session on the US oil. It's unfortunate that the US oil, we've not been able to take we've not been very active on the US oil this week, but it's okay. It's not every time the market does what we want or does what we expect, and this is one of those scenarios that we need to we are finding ourselves. So we need to manage our emotions at this point. We don't want to get too disappointed or too emotional about the scenario we have here. So patience is very, very required at this point. So let's see how price is going to play out during the New York session. Like I said, we are waiting for price to come back into structure, after which we are going to be looking for reversal patterns on lower time frame to join the decline to the downside. So on the US oil, we'll keep our fingers crossed and continue to wait for that setup to happen so that we can join the decline.